These days, you'll hear about three main AI tools: ChatGPT, the biggest, Gemini, second biggest, and Claude comes in third. The right one for you depends on a couple of elements in the equation. Namely, what do you already have access to? Gemini is available to Gmail users for free under a limited basis. ChatGPT and Claude also have free plans subject to usage limits. So the right chat tool for you is going to depend on what you already have access to. I would counsel you against having a bunch of subscriptions right now, because if you're just getting started, all three are going to do basically the same thing. In fact, even though they have different names, they all answer questions in plain language. They all make mistakes sometimes. They all need you to be clear with your instructions. They all should never be trusted blindly, and they all work best as helpers and not decision makers. Let's take a quick look at the ChatGPT interface, and I'll point out a couple of things for you to notice. In the center here, you'll see the Ask Anything box. This is where I would type in my request or my instruction. Here's a plus sign. This is where I can upload files, connect to a Google Drive, create an image, and do some extra things. There's a way for me to switch the mode. And then over here, there's a way where if I type something in like hi, and I press this submits my text. Remember these elements. Gemini looks very similar. In the center, you'll see Ask Gemini 3. This is the same as the Ask Anything box. I type in my question or command right there. Here's the plus. Once again, you can upload files, add from Google Drive, grab things from photos, or work with Notebook LM. Notebook LM is going to be beyond the scope of this video, but it's an interesting tool, and we'll cover it later on. Additionally, there's some of the similar tools that you saw in ChatGPT, like deep research and creating images. Here you can change the thinking mode. And then this is the button you press to submit your text. Claude, same kind of thing. Here's the center box. I can type whatever I like. Here's the plus, add photos, pictures, some different configuration options. It also has a way for you to change the mode here. Here's a way to change the model, and this is how you submit the text. So regardless of which of the three you use, you'll type what you want in the center here, and then you'll press the button, and it'll go ahead and begin taking action. So let's talk about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a general helper. It's really good at explaining, rewriting stuff, brainstorming. It's very general purpose. It has very wide capabilities and is probably the easiest for beginners. It's very widely used. You can find lots of examples online, and consider ChatGPT a good all-around tool and something you can use to help you with your everyday life. It has mobile apps. It has ability to talk to it on the web with your voice, and a way also in the mobile app to either take voice input or talk to it with your voice. Gemini is a Google tool. So if you're part of the Google ecosystem, like you have a Gmail and a Google Drive or Google Pictures, you're going to find that this integrates very well with what you're already doing, and you probably have access to a very nicely filled out usage tier without paying extra money. Gemini has caught up tremendously to ChatGPT, and in many cases, such as image generation, it's actually superior. I find that Gemini gives me faster responses. They're not necessarily better, they're just different. So Gemini is tightly connected with the Google tools. It's often really good with search style questions because remember, it's owned by the company that has the best search engine and the best search engine data on the planet. It'll feel familiar if you use Gmail or Google Docs, and it sometimes provides more factual answers, but this is really hard to say. It's difficult. We'll do some examples in a moment and you can kind of see the difference. Now let's talk about Claude. In many cases, the answers I get from Claude are better than ChatGPT and Gemini, but it does seem to be limited in some other ways. For example, it's often very careful with its wording and safety. Sometimes it feels more like an editor than an assistant, and it gives longer explanations. It also, from time to time, if you ask it to make something, will make that thing in a visual way far superior to what the others do. We'll do some examples now, and you can kind of see how each one of them respond. And we'll start with ChatGPT. We're going to ask it a very, very basic question. The prompt is going to be, explain what artificial intelligence is in plain English. Assume I am new to this and a little cautious. Keep it to one short paragraph. And I'll press the button. And you can see pretty quickly I get a response. And if we read this response, it's going to be fine. It also provides a way for me here to copy out the response or grade it as good or bad. I can share this chat with someone else in case they want to participate. I can ask it to regenerate it, or I can branch it or even have this read aloud to me. Sometimes having it read aloud can be a good thing if you really don't want to do the reading yourself, or you're not in a convenient place for it, or you can't find your glasses. Now, let's run the same prompt in Gemini. Once again, I get a pretty instantaneous response. And here it's identifying itself as an advanced calculator, excelling at what comes next. Now here it's also put in a few references. So if I click this, I'll be taken to this website where it's claiming it gathered this information. And it's also offering these sources down here. Pressing this, it kind of lists where it got the information from, which can be super helpful if you really want to audit the kind of information or answers that you're getting. Remember, AI has been trained on lots and lots and lots of data, and in doing so, it's often been trained on bad data. So for anything of consequence, it can be really helpful to know what the source is of this. Once again, you can grade the chat good or bad. You can have it redo it, you can copy it, or there's just another handful of things you can do. You'll notice that the features of Gemini and the features of ChatGPT are pretty close. Now let's try Claude. And the answer here is very similar. It's claiming it's not thinking, but it's spotting patterns or using pattern matching. And so you can see from a very basic standpoint, we've gotten our answer. It's in one paragraph and it's good enough. Once again, the same tools, copy, good or bad, have it redo it. If you're to look at the actual text here, ChatGPT's language is fairly simple. These are not big words. These are not big ideas. If you look at Gemini's, it seems to be a little bit more relatable. Same kind of thing though. It's not using very complex language. Claude, just looking at the size of the words, is using bigger words. This may appeal to you or even not appeal to you. Regardless, if what you want is the answer to your question, each one of these has done an adequate job. Let's start a new chat and do something next. Now in this next example, we're going to show some everyday usefulness, and we're going to paste in a chat that says, I received a letter that's confusing and stressful. Please summarize it in plain English and list any actions I need to take. Use simple bullet points. But what I'm going to pass in is actually a scam email I got about unclaimed life insurance for $20 million. I have a video about detecting scams, and you can find a link of it either here or here, depending on what YouTube chooses to do. Let's see what analysis we get. Okay, we have our response. There are 6 bullet points here that go after the main points of the policy. They explain who sent it, what it's worth, why I was chosen, what they want from me, and what my call to action is. They also tell me what I should do, which is don't do any replies, don't share any information, treat it like a scam, etc., etc., etc. So you can see here, what I asked for was a summary and list any actions. And what I got was the summary up here and the actions of leave this alone because it's a scam. It's also offering a follow-up step here. So it says, if you tell me whether you responded, clicked anything, or shared any info, I will give you a short step-by-step what to do next checklist based on that. Let's just do it. We shared our email address. Let's see what happens. And so ChatGPT has responded and said, hey, that's pretty low risk, but it can lead to more scam attempts. And it's given us some next steps and some extra information. Now, I like the fact here that it is not only clarifying next steps we could have made that are of more significant problems for us, but also it's saying if you tell us the email provider, it can tell you how to block and report it. Now, many people think this is a way of showing it thinking, and it's not really thinking. Once again, it's pattern matching. But it does a pretty good job of knowing reasonable next steps and what I'm likely to want to do or what I should want to do. Let's go try the same thing with Gemini. So I'm going to go grab the file. And now Gemini has analyzed this and also found it to be a phishing scam, which in fact it is. There's the summary, just like we asked. It's roughly the same kind of summary, so it has all the main points. What the claim was, why we were chosen, what we need to do, etc. The required actions, same kind of deal. It's telling us not to do anything. Don't respond, don't share. We can block and report it, etc. Now, its next step is, would you like me to highlight the specific red flags in this text that indicate it's a scam? Well, I would like that because I want the $20 million. So let's make sure Gemini knows what it's doing. So notice I just said yes. I didn't have to repeat the entire sentence because it has the context of what we've been talking about. So I can continue the conversation as I like. So now it's pointing out red flags in the document. The offer to split $20.25 million 50-50 with a stranger is not how legal fees or inheritance distributions work. Dang it. And then it continues to offer follow-ups, but that's going to take us beyond where we're going. If once again you want more information on detecting scams, there's a video for that. Let's check out Claude. Oof, it does not like PDFs. So since Claude won't take in the PDF, I've went ahead and taken a screenshot of the whole letter. I'm going to paste that in now. Then we're going to see what it does. Interestingly enough, it was able to read the characters in the screenshot, turn them into text, and then analyze it. So we have, once again, a quick summary. This is less detailed, but it's good enough. Why this is a scam. It's picked out a number of the main reasons this is a scam. And then it also tells us what our next steps should be. It's not offering us any additional follow-up chats with it, but that's fine. So in this case, I would say that Claude was slightly less capable in minor ways. All three of these accomplished the goal, which was to understand the letter and tell us what next steps, and in this case, save us from passing our personal information to a strange scammer in Canada. In this test, what we're going to do is have the LLMs or the chat engines build us an advertisement for Facebook Marketplace by analyzing an image. And we're not going to tell it what's in the image. It has to figure that out. We're also, to make sure that this technology tries to understand us versus us having to be perfect all the time, we're going to leave in several typos. Which this may drive some of you crazy, but I think it's wonderful that I don't have to be perfect to use technology. So there's our two misspellings. We're going to pick an image of a Louis Vuitton bag and push the button. The prompt was analyze the image, write an ad for Facebook Marketplace, and suggest a fair price for the item. And now you can see we have our answer. It's identified a small Louis Vuitton monogram canvas crossbody with a front flap and gold tone clasp, plus an adjustable vachetta leather strap. Condition, looks pretty clean with normal vintage wear. Edge piping shows some wear along the bottom corners. Vachetta leather has a medium honey patina, looks well used but not trashed. Hardware shows a light tarnish and surface scratches, which is typical. Price depends heavily on authenticity and interior condition. If it's authentic and the interior is clean, $650. If the authenticity is unknown or we can't document it, it's a lot less. And here's our copy pastable advertisement. Not bad for a day's work. So if you need to declutter, this is a nice, easy way to do it because the fun part is taking the money. The unfun part is writing the advertisement. Let's try Gemini. Same typos, same image. Let's see what it comes up with. Now it says, based on the image, this appears to be an authentic Louis Vuitton cartouchiere, which I'm going to get roasted in the comments for my pronunciation, but that's fine. I earned it. In monogram canvas. This is a classic discontinued vintage piece, timeless camera bag silhouette and sturdy design. Now, I don't know enough about Louis Vuitton to know which one of these is accurate. So leave a comment below and let me know what I missed. But here's our advertisement. You can see it also offered $650 as a fair price. Easily copy pastable right into Facebook Marketplace. And down below, it's went ahead and given us a price analysis. So if we prefer to adjust this in some way, we certainly can. And there's some selling tips. There's a follow-up step offered here of identifying the year if we can find the date code. Now let's try Claude. Same typos, same Louis Vuitton picture, no extra context. It's interesting how all of the chats have detected wear on the bag. This advertisement is a little bit shorter. It went a little higher on the price, which maybe that's a good idea. And it gave us some rationale here so we can decide whether we want to go higher or adjust it down. Regardless, I think all three have done the job we've asked them to do. ChatGPT and Gemini performed a little bit better, but each one of these is adequate. So given that, you can see how the three big engines, Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT, have very similar functionality. They have very similar features, but they go about solving your problems or giving you information in a slightly different way. None of them have been wrong, according to what we've seen here. They've just been different. I hope that helps you pick between the three, and I encourage you to try them out. Remember, they each have generous free tiers. Upload a picture and ask it to analyze it, tell you what's in it. Maybe you can get some help decluttering with your new AI buddy. If you learned something today, leave a comment below and tell us what it was. And share this video with someone else who would like it. And if you haven't yet joined our free Facebook group, How Seniors Learn AI, go ahead and join. The link is in the description below. The group is for all of us, regardless of ability or skill level, and it's where we share all of our free information, like tips and tricks, tools, how-tos, and interviews. We can all learn together. Thanks for watching. See you soon.